It's going to be petrol head heaven. The Top Gear crew's in town for a live show celebrating motoring madness and mayhem, a veritable PC-free zone. The draw cards, of course, two men who are like rock stars of the motoring press. Jeremy Clarkson, who managed to upset Britain's Prime Minister by calling him one-eyed. Well, it turns out Gordon Brown is literally one-eyed, having lost one in a rugby accident as a teenager. And Richard Hammond, the man who cheated death after crashing a dragster at more than 300 k's an hour. So while Mr Clarkson is maintaining a low profile, we did manage to lure Mr Hammond out with what else but a car. Well, Richard Hammond, we never expected to see you out here.
I never expected to see this car. It's fantastic. No, I'm absolutely delighted to be out here, though, really we are. We've done the world tour for the show. This is probably the one place that just seems to get what we do more than anywhere else. It doesn't require any explanation. We just arrive and people go, yeah, we get what you guys are about.
It's phenomenal.
That is incredible.
What is it that you're about? Because it's such a phenomenon, isn't it?
We set out 7 years ago now to make the car show that we would make. And there was no calculation, no sense of, right, if we sit down and do this, then 2 years from now it'll be global and huge. Certainly I, on a daily basis, will just look at it and think, how did that happen? It just did.
Not many people in their jobs can travel across Botswana, make a camper van into a boat, I mean, travel through the Arctic, and get paid.
I know, my eldest daughter, Izzy, she's 8 now, but when she was 6.5, she just turned around suddenly and said, Daddy, you know when you go to London or across the world with Uncle James and Uncle Jeremy, and you mess about with cars, long pause, Daddy, is that work? Because all her friends' mums and dads have proper jobs. They're doctors or lawyers or builders or whatever they do. And, yes, I know it is ridiculous, but we're
is it
very
work?
lucky.
Is it still work?
Yeah, it's really tough. Really, really hard. No, it is. We do, without wanting to say who poor us, we work very hard at it, yes. And I'm delighted because if we didn't, then the scale of it would just not seem right. Nothing can be this big without a lot of work going into it. Otherwise, it wouldn't seem quite right.
Looking at all the things you've done, what's the most outrageous? Or is it impossible to narrow?
It's impossible to know because some of the big journeys we've done, you know, going to the North Pole when James and Jeremy went in pickup trucks and I raced them in a dog sledge. That was effectively, what I didn't realise is you don't really go on the dog sledge, you ski along beside it or run. So running 20, 30 miles a stretch and then sleeping and then running and sleeping in -50, that was hard work. Driving across Botswana was tremendous, but then equally some of the little things. I was dropped into a tank of water to see how you escape from a car. I ran with the bulls in Pamplona. It was quite alarming. Very alarming, actually. So there's a lot of outrageous stuff we've done.
Do you have a favourite car?
Several. I mean, any car that's got my wife and daughters and dogs in, to be honest. But I love Land Rovers. I've got 1957 Series 1 Land Rover, but equally I like Pagani Zonda F.
See, one of the things about you guys is that you're honest. You get a car and you say, this is crap.
Yeah.
Do manufacturers sort of think, I don't want to give my car to them?
I think they do sometimes hide behind the sofa. I know they do. But equally, you know, they take it on the chin.
You watch the show, it looks as though you guys, and particularly you and Jeremy, really get on. It's this...
Well, we couldn't fake it. I spend the major part of my life in their company, messing about with and talking about cars. That's how we all are. You know, James genuinely does get lost all the time and take ages to do everything. Jeremy does get all bombastic and have to win everything or it's all wrong. I do stupid stuff and hurt myself. That's how we are. So we're not good enough actors to pretend.
Reading your books, because that's a great thing. You get to write books as well. Is there nothing you can't do?
Drive, obviously.
You pay a lot of attention to your wife.
Yes.
She's a huge part of this.
Yes, it's very important. Yeah, very much. I mean, the one thing, we are all family men. I mean, Jeremy and me, particularly, and Andy Willman, the guy behind the show with him, we're family men, and one of our proudest accolades is that actually this is a family show.
And Mindy and the kids, they don't worry about you? I mean, you do outrageous stuff.
Yes, but we're not gung-ho about it, actually. Otherwise, I'd be dead by now. We're just not. We always look at everything we do very carefully and decide, right, well, that's the best harness, that's the best safety procedure we can possibly apply, and if it's not enough, we don't do it. And therefore, when something did go wrong, my crash, I was okay because of the precautions we'd taken. So Mindy and the girls, they know that. They know that. I don't want to not be here for them, do I?
Do you get sick of, I mean, you can't escape that. I mean, do you get sick of everyone's all going to say you're the amazing man who survived?
No, because I survived, so I would rather be that than it would be people saying to my wife, wasn't your husband, you know, no, of course not, of course not. It was, when I never saw any of the fuss that was made, and I know people knew about it all over the place, but I was in a coma or very, very confused for a lot of months, so I didn't know about it, but it was remarkable. I think because it's a family show, because it's something that people enjoyed, all of them together, the thought that it might be taken away or that one of us in that little fun world could be hurt shocks people, because they thought we were all immune to that because it's our stupid fantasy world.
Well, Richard, we are so pleased that you are here and you are with us and the show goes on.
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks everyone for making us so welcome. It really has. We've been looking forward to coming here all along because we've sort of known that we'd be welcome the way we have been, which is people just get what we're about.
Well, if you need a small car to get around town...
Subtle this, isn't it?
You sing out.
Parking's going to be an issue, isn't it? I'm thinking.
Now, if you want to watch the rest of the interview with Richard, head to tvnz.co.nz, keyword Closeup. We'll post a whole interview there. Now, meanwhile, of course, that big event for the Top Gear live show is down at the ASB Showgrounds right now, big gala dinner. And we've just had a little news from down there. Now, Jonah Lomu is there, as the boys are huge rugby fans, and they're in for a treat meeting him. But it turns out Jonah has had a huge treat of his own, and I mean huge. He and his partner Nadine Quirk have had their baby, a 12-pound baby girl called Brayley. That's B-R-A-Y-L-E-Y. Now, apparently Nadine chose the name. Jonah got to choose how to spell it. So congratulations to the pair of them, and I guess the Women's Mag's bidding war begins. 6 figures, I reckon, for the first photo of Jonah's baby. Now, that would certainly help pay the uni fees when she grows up. Now, still to come, while the Victoria fires have devastated the lives of the human inhabitants of the bush, spare a thought for the wildlife.
Out of all that tragedy and all of that Holocaust that's out there, we did save one little life.